And the apartment has an Instagram already.
Your apartment has an Instagram?
Yes.
So I'm in the 18th arrondissement at my friends Brent and Cedric's apartment, and they've done a phenomenal job with this space. You'll hear in their story, they spent a year looking for this place. And their tenacity really paid off. I think it's one of the big things to take away from pretty much any story you hear in finding the perfect Paris apartment for anybody, to know exactly what you're looking for and to stick with it, but I'll let them tell that story. We're actually in Montmartre, so we're on the hill in the 18th arrondissement, probably one of the most famous parts of the city. Not gonna show you exactly where they live, obviously, but it is a phenomenal neighborhood and one that it's very, very high on my list of places that I would love to live in Paris. So without any further ado, we'll jump into it. If you're enjoying this series of my friends' apartments, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, leave a like, and yeah, we'll keep making them as long as people are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun diving into my friends' places and also getting their tips on how to find a place, as I hope to, find my own spot in Paris one of these days in the not too distant future. But enough about me. Let's talk about Brent and Cedric's amazing apartment. What neighborhood are we in, and how much do you guys pay for rent?
We're in Montmartre, and we pay $19.95.
Okay, $19.95 for how many square meters?
64.
Do you know how many that is in square feet?
700, I think. So I know it's 700 square feet. It's, I think, 64 square meters. Yeah.
Okay. What are the quirks of this place?
Where do we begin? So the building is shaped like a triangle, so the apartment is shaped like a triangle, so every room has kind of odd dimensions, which makes it very hard to furnish, or at least it's a bit of an adventure to furnish. The toilet, this is a strange place to start. The toilet seat is made for a toilet about twice the size of the toilet that we have.
Really?
Yes, so.
It has an overbite.
It has an overbite, very odd. It took me a while, like a week, and then I was like, something is very strange about this toilet.
Entryway into the shower is slightly.
Oh, whoa.
So like, it's like a half shower curtain, or shower curtain has been cut in half, and so to get in, you kind of squeeze in.
Yeah. This is a very French thing. Like, wouldn't a door on the shower be like a normal solution to this? But all across France, there's beautiful glass showers that have no door.
Also, people can see you outside if you open the window while you're taking a shower, like full view, the whole thing. Yeah, all eye contact and everything.
Oh, more quirks.
There's no peephole on the door.
So you can't tell who's outside.
You can't tell who's outside. I think that is a quirk. I think that's weird.
Oh, here's a fun quirk. This doesn't close, like even close.
Like,
really, like there's a gap like that. So that's not an overbite. That's like needs braces or something, right?
So you got a lot of metaphorically teeth related.
Right.
A lot of dental.
This is where we need to see the orthodontist.
How about some perks? What are the perks of this place?
Perks. I mean, it's beautiful. It's just like an old Haussmannian. It's a classic Parisian apartment. It's big. It has, all the moldings and the beautiful fireplace, windows everywhere. It's a great location. It's just kind of, when people, I think, imagine what a Parisian apartment could be, they are picturing something like this. And that's a great fortune to live in a place like this.
Something that feels a little modern, but also very traditional in a way. And yeah, so we're trying to furnish it and sort of keep that in mind as we're doing some of those things.
How long do you guys think you'll stay here?
For the rest of our lives.
Oh, that's a good answer.
It was very difficult to get this
It's
apartment.
like if you shop for an apartment in Paris, you will understand.
Yes.
You will never leave. No, yeah, we plan to stay for a while.
Of course, if you are looking to rent while you're here in Paris, we put together a 5-page document with everything that Brent and Cedric learned in the last year of looking for their apartment. If you want to get it, it's totally free. Just go to substack.com/Jay Swanson. Sign up for my newsletter, which is also free. You'll get that along with another freebie, Recommendations for Paris. Won't tell you what it is exactly. You got to go find out. And we're going to make that available to all my newsletter subscribers for free right now. So if you want to rent in Paris, everything you need to know in that document. And now, back to wandering around this place. Well, the question I know you guys worked for a year to find this place.
Yeah.
What did you do in the interim, and what advice would you have to anybody who's setting out to find an apartment in Paris in the current market?
We started kind of by hopping around Airbnbs or other kind of stuff we found in classified listings, which is pretty normal.
Yeah.
And then eventually we were connected with a woman who runs a kind of like an apartment management agency that caters to English-speaking people. So we had a 3-month arrangement with her, and then another place opened up that was kind of a standard lease. So we did not like that apartment. It was just down the road from here, and we didn't like the apartment, but we thought like it's a regular apartment lease, and it gives us security and a place to stay. So we took it.
Yep.
And pretty much from day one, we're like, get us out of here. But it was motivating, you know, and so we just stayed there, and we just kept looking and looking and looking, and just suffered through that apartment that we really hated until we got this.
One of our things that we came up with when we stayed in that place is that we would always say yes if the other person asked to go out to eat. And because we were spending less money for a place that we really didn't enjoy sort of in the meantime, but it was like, okay, how can we make our life outside of the apartment just a little bit better just on a day-to-day? And that was one of the rules that we would just...
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it was like...
That's like a good rule for just a happy couple, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or depending on where you're at, like financially maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of nuts.
I like to go out to eat,
It's a
so...
lifestyle choice, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it all comes down to like, you know, what your financial situation is, and like, you know, if you're spending a lot for an apartment, you don't want to then be eating out every day when you have a kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, we didn't have the ideal kitchen for the things we wanted to cook then, so then it was kind of like, okay, well then you can justify going out a little bit more.
The other thing was like, we need to show the closet space in your...
Oh yeah, did you show the bedroom at all?
No, you guys didn't take me into the bedroom.
Oh, let's do that.
Too.
Where the magic happens. No, it's amazing element of our place is we did luck out with built-in closet space.
This is so unusual.
So unusual.
Yeah, this is more closet space built in than any French apartment I feel like I've ever been in.
Like I'm fully surprised by, like still every day I'm like, how? This is great. And then of course, if you live in France, you must have under bed storage, storing luggage in there.
Yeah.
We have a cave, but it is humid and drips water from the ceiling because there's a florist above it. A whole situation, so we can't really put anything that we like or enjoy. The apartment came with the bed, the dining room table, and a sofa that is also a sleeper.
You guys have done a great job with all your other choices, though.
Thank you. These are family heirlooms that he rewired to make them European.
I'm now an electrician. Yeah, and we've been bits and pieces bringing stuff back from the States. You know, some of the books are from our New York apartment, you know, all the speakers and stuff, and trying to bring in more and more from our old life into our new life.
For anybody moving here, what would be if you had top 2 or top 3 tips? Like just really, here's what you do.
I think find a place that you can just get by in, because that was also, we ended up in an apartment because we were running out of time, and it was just nice to have security of a place that we can renew and stay in, even if it wasn't great. We had it, you know, constant is good while you look for the thing that you're maybe more interested in or you feel like it's a better fit. Doesn't mean you're gonna find it, but it gives you just, you know, a little security in that.
I would say also, like, we hired someone to help us with the search, and that was really crucial to try to stay on top of these listings, and everything's moving so fast, and it's very difficult. And when we hired someone to manage that process for us, it was just like such a relief just to know that there was someone who was more informed than us, who we were in really capable hands, and that, you know, now at least we didn't have to do this ourselves. You know, that was a lot of peace of mind. That was money very well spent. Hiring someone and working with someone who understands how to present a dossier, you know, how to put those things together. Jesus.
That's shocking.
Dossiers listen, we were shocked too.
I think that when we are trying to put our best foot forward, so we're doing all of these things that are probably actually unnecessary and complicating the process when we're putting together our dossiers. You know, we're both freelancers, you know, so we don't have work contracts, so we are needing to present our finances, we're needing to present us as people, and that can be a challenge. But then we work with someone who fully understood that. And it's like, oh, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. And we're like, oh, we've been including those things. And she's like, less is more.
Less is more, yeah. In France, they want the bare minimum. There's no extra credit.
Right, yeah.
I would say just like be flexible, which seems really obvious, but I think, you know, people who come here, we come with like a vision of what our lives are going to be like, you know, and that's why we're here. And we got very lucky because we envisioned this, you know, and I have no idea how, but we got this. But we were prepared to settled for lots of other things that were not this, you know, and that was a lot of conversation between us in terms of like what we were willing to negotiate on. And, you know, and I think it was just important for us to remember throughout that process, as we were really persisting and getting denied again and again, that like no matter where we ended up, we were still in Paris, and that like this would be part of our story, this would be part of what makes our lives here great. We would always have the option to move again in the future, but that we just needed to get started somewhere. It's just like dating, like once you free yourself from like needing the thing, then suddenly the thing comes along, you know, and it's just like, I think being flexible like really helped us to kind of take some pressure off of the situation a little bit.
Do you guys want, I know the answer is probably yes here, but do you want people to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, no, just asking. I figured you'd be an absolute yes and just checking with you. He was like, no, thank you.
And the apartment has an Instagram already.
Your apartment has an Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so you can follow this apartment on Instagram. I'll put that information up if you guys want to follow these guys and their apartment, which has its own account. Why did you do that?
Why not? Have you seen, look at the place.
Well, so I had an account for my art when I was selling just my prints. And so then I converted it because now my prints are like just shown in the apartment. So that,
photographer, you can buy some prints while you're at it. But yeah, definitely give these guys a follow. And thanks for showing me around your house.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Thanks to today's patron producer, Palm Trees in Paris. You know, this is a good fitting one for apartments in Paris. I really appreciate your support and all my patrons for making all of these videos possible in the first place. Thank you. I would love to have an apartment like this with all this natural light. There's a fair amount of space. It's a generous amount of space for 1 or 2 people for sure. And in one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city. Like, I would love to be here. Thanks to Brent and Cedric for having me. Thanks to you for watching. If you're enjoying this series, be sure to let me know in the comments below. It seems to be one that people are enjoying. I'm having a lot of fun just going and showing my friends' apartments and exploring a little bit, or seeing some of my friends' apartments that I haven't seen yet. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks to my patrons, whose names are running up and down the screen here. And obviously, if you're visiting Paris, if you're gonna come and check it out, or even if you're moving here and you just wanna get like all my recommendations for where to eat, drink, how to get around the city, how to have a good time here, just the way that I love the city, then be sure to go to ParisInMyPocket.com and grab my guide, right meow. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Cooper.